Okay, I wanted to do a quick trade recap. It is Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. So, looking at the pre-market plan, we had this nice sell-off yesterday, which recovered in the afternoon, and then we had a continued buying pressure overnight. Looking at this, so you can see that continued buying overnight. We closed up here, sold off, held this key level, and then rallied up further. So, the main watches I was watching were and from this picture, I didn't have my demand zone marked yet, but I have demand right here at 6435. Yeah, so at this point, I'm watching for three main things. The first thing I want to watch is around the 6455 level. I'm looking for first a possible rejection to then take the market short into this demand zone slash key level. The second thing I'm watching for is a pop above. If there's strength, I want to look for longs. And then the third thing was if we did get an immediate sell off at open that I wasn't able to catch, I would possibly be looking to see if buying came in the zone and was able to bounce the market. So there's all that stuff. Let's get into it. So, market opens and is in a little bit of a chop the first two candles and then kind of starts to rally up um, towards this 6455 key level. So you can see large buying comes in at open, gets sold off, comes back in, sold off, and then we kind of start to rally into near this 6455 key level. And I see this aggressive buying come in, slow down, and really like these next two tests of buying were not as strong as this initial test. So I went ahead and tried a short there at 934 at 51.5 in here. And I quickly cut it when this bind started to come in because I realized the location really hadn't developed as well yet, and I just needed to see a little bit more for this to try and validate the short. So I cut that for a quick little 2.75 point loss. Oops. But then I'm still watching the 6455 level to possibly reject. So now price rallies up right into that level, fills this ask, has a nice little sell off, and then shoots up again. And on this retest, just want to make sure it's the right thing. 36, yep. On this retest right here, we see buying fail just below this level, and some selling start to come in. And then the cherry on top of this setup, I have a screenshot of the depth of market at the time of entry because it doesn't look as well now, but you can see all around here at the highs, there is heavy buying delta. So that's showing me that there's like these buyers are trying up here, trying to break these highs, trying to break above this pre-market high and this 6455 key level, but they're not. And I'm seeing this as them getting trapped. And if we start to sell off, all these guys are going to have to stop out, and it's going to fuel a dump. And with that in mind, I was watching this as well. This was key to break. I didn't want to see a passive buyer defend the market here at the 48s. So I get in. It's really choppy. We get a little move down, come back up, retest my entry, right here, and then eventually we do get a move. And I get my first scale out, and then price retests again to my entry, and then on the next move down, I get my next scale outs, and then I ended up hitting some runners at trailing stops, but we'll get into that. So here's the short. It's real choppy, real choppy. It looks like we're gonna finally move. Retests our entry point. Boom, looks like we're finally gonna move. And starts bouncing right here at this low of day. Possible red flag, but I stay in. We then get this nice dump into my first target area. Those get out at 2R. Price then, this was the hardest part of the trade for me. This holding through this and for my first scale, and then sitting in this knowing that I'm possibly gonna have 4 out of 6 lots go break even, or go stop loss, I should say, and take my entire trade to break even. I'm sitting there willing to accept that, because I know that because I had good conviction that price was gonna dip into this demand zone, and if it did, I'd rather be right on that and get my money for being right than if it doesn't work out and I lose a little bit there. I'd rather have this potential upside. Yeah, but we get that rally back in. Then I get my next scale out at my second target, which was originally the 4-1 level. Which I don't exactly know where it was from. I think it was just a little bit of yeah, it was literally just that little dip and bounce right there. Wanted to get out some right there. So that was my second scale out. And then as we're moving towards demand with 2 lots left, I start trailing. One was at 2R pretty tight, 45. You can see it. So 10 a.m. news came out and I got a little bit of slippage. So this was at 44.25, which was 2R, got taken for a little bit of slippage. And then this next one was just at 1R. Obviously, you can see if I would have held, I could have gotten a little bit more on the next push, but this market is pretty choppy, and I'm not a huge fan of this. I'm glad to get in here, to take a small loss and get a nice solid win on these choppy conditions. You know, the move we were looking for worked out. We rejected this key level. We got a nice push into demand. It hasn't quite hit yet, but I mean, it's pretty much happened. Yeah, I got 1.91 R on that second trade, just due to, you know, a little bit of slippage on that, and then final con hitting 1R. If this would have dumped into demand, it would have been a nice 2+ R trade, but still really solid day. Handled my emotions well. This was very challenging to sit in this trade and execute on this, and I think my execution was pretty good. I followed my plan, and that's the main thing. I can't be worried about this, you know, not making a ton of money on my last scale out. That's not what I need to be worried about. All right, peace.